Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I want to start by taking a look at cloud migration and a situation. And it's always easy to say, hey, we need to migrate to the cloud, right? You get that all the time. And that's great. And then it rolls up to the executive level and they say, okay, let's move everything to cloud. But what you really need to consider is, what is your goals and objectives, right? What are you trying to do? And you have to look at specific things like total cost of ownership. What does it take to run that on-prem versus off-prem and service that system? Is there a 20% savings? And CA does have those kind of ROI models and help people build those out. You have to look at, are you working quickly and fast? Can you provision your systems and deploy them? Going to cloud, that may increase, but it also may create complications. Are you in alignment with your security, your risk departments, making sure that you just don't move to the cloud? You have to make sure you understand policies and procedures of your organization, financial data versus something that is not secure. You have to look at all those things. And it's interesting, as you migrate to the cloud, think about your current contracts with your host providers, your data centers. Are they in alignment, or you have goals of getting on them? I don't know if you look at it this way, but I almost think it's back to the old days of looking at when you're in an office space and you're renting out a building, when does that lease end, and when can I go to this new building? Think of it in those kinds of terms. So you have the greatest savings in the world, but if you're locked into that type of contract, you got to understand that. And it's really important to engage your employees with the new skills of cloud migration, not just making them work on the old systems, really make them a part of that. We'll talk about that a little later. And then ultimately, does this movement to the cloud give you more innovation for your customers, speed to market, that kind of thing? Moving to the cloud has to have that business reason. I want to walk you through kind of a cloud application migration model, and I'm going to start on the left-hand side, kind of discovery and planning. And this gives you a roadmap and an approach to allow you as an organization to get a repeatable process in place. So in the discovery and planning stage, I think the first thing you need to do is to establish and commit to a core team. If people are being asked to do this, it can't be while you're doing your quote-unquote day job. Establish that team, and that may involve bringing in expertise, but it needs to be an effort that is focused, there's not distractions, and there's no priority issues of your old job. So establishing that team, and I gave you some examples here, right? Leads, architects, engineers, database technical writers, all the different things, and then getting into types of technologies. And then you look at your different systems or applications. You can look at them a couple of different ways. You can look at them as a group. You can look at them as a specific function. There's all different types. And you categorize their migration, right? Is it a lift and shift? You're taking one application on-prem and putting it to the cloud. That's kind of a lift and shift move. Are you going through a refactoring process where you're looking at small, medium, and large types of changes? And I'm going to talk about that automatic deploy and refactoring process in a second. Or are you moving from a completely new platform? Are you going from, a Java-based homegrown kit that you've developed this system and you need to really move that to like an AWS platform, but keep all the services and microservices in place? Or are you frankly just going to replace it? Maybe you have an old mainframe system and you're going to be moving it to something else. I'll give you an example. that I was personally just involved in. We have a major custom built system that handled all the HR and process and things, and we moved to a cloud solution. And I don't need to mention the names of the company that we did it with, but it was really, really encouraging. So think of that replacement of that old mainframe system processing to I could use my phone to approve expenses, enter time, and those kinds of things. So that's that replaced look. So once you kind of categorize your different systems, you go in that planning stage, and you really need to look at it from your different applications, their size, your roadmap. How fast do you want to do this? And are you on a situation where you need to get, it's going back to all the factors, right? Maybe you need to get off your host environment, that kind of thing. Really put that in place and plan. And that's everything from not just the architecture, but make sure you look at disaster recovery, right? Your security, your login, all the different types of things. And then start blueprinting out and planning the different types of systems. And that's really important in that planning stage. And all this encompasses an ROI associated to it. You should not be just moving things to the cloud just because you think it's a great idea. This is not I'm going to say just a exercise. You have to have validation, you have importance, and those kinds of things. So let me walk you through a typical automation and deployment approach, and understanding the things that we talked about in Discovery Plan, everything from a core team to categorizing to planning. And reading it around the wheel, you start with a blueprint strategy, and that's that blueprint plan in that last bullet. Say it's Java for giggles, that you want to look at all your Java type solutions as they relate to your systems. So you look at establishing patterns, workflows, and really, and that's why I mentioned DevOps up front, really get into some tool set and pipeline approaches, whether, continuous integration, continuous deployment, and how you're doing your login. And then you establish those kinds of patterns, and then you're starting to see the picture of what are the systems and applications that link to that. And then you start looking at what is the acceptance criteria when you look at those. Do you have your performance criteria, establish smoke tests, really getting ahead of it, staying within the objective of the movement and that pattern. And finally then looking at...
Hi there, I hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.